Stand in a Spanish plaza on a summer afternoon, and you will watch a man face a 500-kilogram animal armed with nothing but a piece of cloth. The world calls it Spain's eternal tradition, ancient, unchanged, sacred. Almost none of that is true. The spectacle you are picturing is younger than the United States. It was born when the poor of Andalusia stole a dying aristocratic ritual, and it may not survive this century. This is the real story of the corrida. Ask anyone to name one thing about Spain, and the answer arrives dressed in red. The bull, the matador, the roar of the arena. Bullfighting appears on postcards, on wine labels, in every foreign imagination of what Spain means. But here is what almost nobody knows. For most of its history, the spectacle we recognize today did not exist. Kings tried to ban it. The church condemned it. And the men who created its modern form were not nobles or artists. They were butchers, carpenters, and horse handlers, men who were never supposed to be in the arena at all. Bulls in Iberia have been entangled since before Rome. Ancient peoples of the peninsula worshipped the animal, sacrificed it, painted it on cave walls, and carved it in stone. But the medieval spectacle looked nothing like today's corrida. Picture a town square in Castile, 500 years ago, converted into an arena for a royal wedding. The fighters are knights, noblemen on horseback, armed with lances. Killing a bull from the saddle was considered training for war and proof of aristocratic courage. Commoners were allowed in the square only as helpers, servants on foot, waving capes to position the animal for their masters. Remember those servants. They are about to inherit everything. Even then, the spectacle had powerful enemies. Popes condemned it. In the 18th century, Spain's new Bourbon kings, French in origin and taste, considered the whole affair barbaric and embarrassing. The nobility, eager to please the court, abandoned the arena. The kings believed that without nobles, the spectacle would simply die. They were wrong. When the aristocracy walked away, the men on foot stayed. In the dusty towns of Andalusia, Ronda, Sevilla, the assistants, the horse handlers, the slaughterhouse workers kept facing the bulls. Without horses, without armor, without permission. And in doing so, they invented something new. A man on foot cannot overpower a bull. He can only outthink it. Every movement became technique. The cape became an instrument of deception and, slowly, of art. In Ronda, a carpenter's family, the Romeros, turned survival into choreography. Francisco Romero is credited with the muleta, the small red cloth that lets a man guide half a ton of muscle past his own body. His grandson Pedro would kill thousands of bulls and die an old man, untouched. What had been a nobleman's war game became something else entirely, a working-class ritual of nerve, poverty, and glory. The first professional matadors were men with no other path to fame. The poor, facing death in front of the town, because the arena was the one place Spain would applaud them. The parallel is impossible to miss. The elite created the spectacle. The excluded turned it into an art. Through the 19th century, the corrida professionalized. Permanent arenas rose in stone. Rules were written. Matadors became Spain's first celebrities. Their rivalries filled newspapers before football existed. And when Spain lost its empire and searched for its own reflection, foreign writers found it in the arena. Romantic travelers, and later Hollywood and Hemingway, exported an image: Spain as passion, blood, and death in the afternoon. Then came the twist that most documentaries skip. After the Civil War, the Franco dictatorship embraced the corrida as the fiesta nacional. the official symbol of an eternal, unified Spain. Tourists were flown in by the millions. The bullfight became a state postcard, which means the timeless Spanish tradition the world knows was, in large part, packaged in the 20th century by a regime for export. The corrida's golden age was real. Matadors like Juan Belmonte revolutionized the art, fighting closer to the horns than anyone believed survivable. Crowds filled arenas from Madrid to Mexico City, but identity built by decree carries a cost. For millions of Spaniards, especially after Franco, the bull ring stopped meaning Spain and started meaning the past. Today, the numbers tell a story the postcards do not. Bullfighting events in Spain have fallen by more than half since the 2000s. Most Spaniards, in poll after poll, say they feel no interest in the corrida. Among the young, the rejection is overwhelming. Catalonia banned it outright in 2010. The Canary Islands had done it decades earlier. And yet, in 2013, the Spanish Parliament declared bullfighting official cultural heritage, legally protected. In towns across Andalusia and Castile, the arena still fills for the local feria. The corrida survives on television deals, subsidies, and the loyalty of a shrinking, passionate public. While animal rights movements make it the most contested tradition in Europe, Spain is now two countries in one, a majority that has moved on, and a minority for whom the bull remains sacred inheritance. So, the next time you see the postcard, the matador frozen mid-pass, the red cloth, the roaring arena, you will know what you are really looking at. Not an eternal tradition, but a stolen one. A ritual of kings, captured by carpenters and butchers, polished into art, weaponized into national identity, and now fading in the country that made it famous. Whether the corrida deserves to survive is a question Spain itself cannot agree on. But its story, the poor taking the arena, the powerful abandoned, that story is already immortal. If stories like this fascinate you, the hidden origins behind the world's most famous traditions, subscribe. There are many more to uncover. And tell me in the comments, which country's tradition should we decode next?